Our research team is now joining in with how the trade setup looks like and the stocks that are likely to be in news. First up, Vivek is joining in with all the market cues. Good morning, Vivek. What do you have for us?
Well, good morning. Very strong handover from the US, like you mentioned. 3 to 4 straight sessions of gains as far as most of the US markets are concerned. So that's some positive news flow. Oil prices yesterday, again, another key monitorable as far as the Indian markets are concerned. Oil prices yesterday gained. Now, this was due to significant uncertainty as far as the West Asia was concerned. In the week gone by, remember, oil prices had actually fallen close to 7%. Now, coming to the Indian markets yesterday were an underperformer. And, it was a significant underperformer given the kind of strong handover we had seen over the weekend as well. Volatile trading session, we ended with cuts. What was something that was quite noteworthy? It was the India VIX index. It went high by almost 13% and yesterday hit a fresh 52-week high. So that will be something that we will continue to monitor. What actually dragged the markets lower? Power infra financiers, that was something that saw significant sell-off that took down, REC, PFC, IREDA. A lot of PSU banks fell significantly yesterday, and this was partially offset by the kind of strength that we saw in the private banks. The other part, of course, was the broader market underperformance, and this is something that continued for the last 3 to 4 trading sessions as well. Advanced decline ratio, especially in the broader market, was quite weak, and that will also be something that we will continue to watch out for. Earnings season continues thick and fast. Key results reactions from last evening, Lupin as well as Godrej Consumer Products. That will be something that the market will react to. Today, quite a few important earnings. Dr. Reddy, Pidilite, IGL, Voltas. Asian markets largely positive. GIFT Nifty 2 indicating a mild positive start for us as well.
Vivek, thanks a lot for joining in with all the details. Now over to Sudarshan, who will list out the stocks to watch out for this morning. Sudarshan, good morning. What do you have for us?
Morning, Homa. So I'll start with Hindalco. Novelis has reported earnings which are better than estimates. Adjusted EBITDA has risen 28% and adjusted EBITDA per ton has come in at 7-quarter high. Even net debt has fallen sequentially by more than $300 million. Godrej Consumer's strong Q4 continue to report industry-leading volume growth. Domestic organic volume growth has come in at 7% versus expectation of 6 to 8%, but it has reported loss in bottom line due to Africa business restructuring. Net loss was at rupees 1,893 crore and due to exceptional loss of rupees 2,376 crore because of Africa business restructuring. Marico, healthy Q4 internals, even outlook is positive. Company sees volume growth gradually picking up and domestic revenue growth to outpace volume growth from Q4 as per the company. Lupin reported mixed Q4 earnings. Revenue has missed at estimates while EBITDA and margin have come in line. Revenue has risen 12% versus expectation of 14% growth. Margin has come in at 20.1% versus estimate of 19 to 20%. Even US sales have come at the lower end of expectations at $209 million. Gujarat Gas, if you look at P&L, it has come in line, but volumes have missed estimates. EBITDA has come at 591 crore versus a poll of 533 crore. Overall volumes have come in at 9.69 MMSCMD versus poll of 9.85. Fusion MFI, strong business momentum has continued. Disbursals are up 24%. AUM has risen 23%. Even NIM has improved both sequentially and year-on-year. Muthoot Microfinance, here also business momentum is strong. Dispersal are up 18%. AUM has risen to 32%. But provisions have seen a sharp increase. It's up 182% year-on-year and 27% sequentially. Route Mobile, very weak Q4. Margin has slipped 80 bips year-on-year. Now coming to the companies which will be reacting to the news flow. HPCL will consider bonus issue along with its earnings on May 9. LTI Mindtree has got tax demand of 158 crore from Mumbai GST department for FY19.
Plenty of stocks to watch out for as always. Thanks a lot, Sudarshan, with all of those details. And lastly, Nigel joining in with cues from the F&O space. Morning, Nigel. Struggling to cross 22,500 is the Nifty. What the setup's looking like?
Well, that's right. Anticlimax yesterday, we had all the cues that were positive, but we couldn't build on to those gains. So a bit of a disappointing session that we did see. From the highs you're seeing on a day-to-day basis, the Nifty is unable to sustain at higher levels. And the 22,700, 20,750, when it starts off over there, we have seen some kind of selling pressure from the top, and the chart should tell you the picture. The India VIX, that popped up in trade, and if you look at it in the last 2 weeks or so, the India VIX has seen a sharp surge. Remember, it went to a 52-week low, and a matter of few sessions, it's up at 52-week highs, and ahead of an election result, you're expecting the volatility index to pick up. one school of thought could be, or one strategy could be, that the near-term strikes, you could look at writing them and buy the same strike for the next contract. But we'll have to see how that goes. For the time being, you expect the VIX to remain elevated because volatility is creeping into the system, which tells you brace yourself for wild swings on both directions. So that's the indication out there. What did the FIs do yesterday? Well, they added more longs than shorts. Close to around 7 long positions for every 1 short position is what they did, though they continue to remain net short with the positioning at around 55%. In absolute terms, yes, they're still net short, but that from around 47,000 contracts, the net shorts are now at around 35,000 contracts short. But shorts in the system, as I always say, it's not such a bad thing. What about the strikes? The 22,600 call, 22,500 call. Well, they continue to get written because the bears believe they have got this covered at higher levels. So that's why we're seeing aggressive writing at both those two levels, which brings us to the range that I'm looking at. The Nifty range, the broad range is the 600-point range I'm looking at, 22,200, 22,800. That's a 600-point range chart. The 20 and the 50 DMA, that's reference points for you. But if we break either side of this, I'm expecting a 500-point swing on either which ways. 22,200 minus 500, 22,800 plus 500, if we can break this range. But that's the broad range up for you on the screen. The Nifty Bank, the crucial levels come up for you. 20 DMA is important on the downside. 49,500 has been a bit of a resistance zone. The Nifty Financial Services Index, that plays on weekly expiry, so that's on your radar. And you have SAIL that's moving to the FNO band, so keep an eye out on that stock as well. Back to you.
Some important levels there. Thanks a lot, Nigel, for joining in. Time